What's up, guys? We got the Joe Rose Show. This is after Miami took an L to SMU. I'm very interested with the questions. I'm very interested with the responses. Let's see what Mario Cristobal has to say, because I don't want no shitty ass coach speak. I'm tired of the shitty ass coach speak. We have been getting the shitty ass coach speak for 4 years now, and we've been nice about it. But now we need answers, and we need them fast.
In overtime, as we bring in Mario Cristobal this morning. Coach, good morning. How you doing?
Good morning, Joe. Back to work, brother.
Yeah. Hey, so, Coach, we got to get into it here. 12 penalties, 96 yards, and a lot of them were just absolute drive killers. Just moved the ball up and down at will, except overcoming all these penalties. A lot of them on the offensive line. I don't want to say I don't know what the percentage was, but just frustrating to see that best group. They're all bad penalties, but some of those on the offensive line who just been so good. How frustrating was that to see?
Well, it's frustrating. We felt that we had made progress the previous week against Stanford, but we regressed Saturday. There's no other way to cut it. In between the whistles, the play was really good, really physical, but the pre-snap penalties were certainly hurtful. And then I know we had a couple of holdings as well. So that part certainly, it's not our standard, and certainly something that we have to fix and get better.
Now, throughout this video, I believe people can always put the comments and talk about what the referees did. And yes, I believe the referees, they screwed us left, right. They did it. They did a bad job. But at the end of the day, now that the game is over, we have to control what we can control. We can't control those shitty-ass refs. And to be frank about it, we already know that what the refs are about. We know. And look, I used to think it was a Miami thing, but the refs are terrible in about every game you watch. I don't care what anybody says. These refs suck. And what we saw this Saturday was terrible. But I want to focus on what this Miami Hurricane team can control, because they cannot control what the refs do or don't. But what they can control is their actions. So Mario Cristobal, we regressed. Look, oh my God, calm down, Grant. Musa. Guys, I have a lot to say this morning, so if you want to just see the interview with just Joe Rose, the link will be in the description. Shout out to the Joe Rose Show. This is something that's been going on all year and in previous years. So, Mario, what are you doing that's not getting through to the players? Because this isn't like the first couple games this happened, and then it happened in the Louisville game, then we fixed it in the Stanford game, and then we regressed. This has been something that's been happening. I would like to understand why David Blay has two offsides against Stanford at the position he plays, and then the next week he has another false start. Another offsides. It was so bad that he started running to the sideline. I think he thought he was going to get taken out, but they put him back in the game. So why is it that players why don't they continue? They get to keep making mistakes and y'all keep letting them play. And you may say, Grant, well, you just can't yank players out every time they make a mistake. I understand that. But I believe at some point, if you do not make an example out of a player, if you don't get on to it, if there's not consequences to an action, then the actions will continue. And then I would say, Mario, okay, I know Moulton was out, so David Blay's an important player. But don't you got some big-time interior linemen that you recruited? Why aren't they ready? Where's Justin Scott? Deontay Simpson? You bring in talent, And the purpose of having talent is if a player isn't holding up, isn't living up to the standard, the player right behind them is getting ready to go in. And I believe, now this has happened last year, I believe that was one of the reasons that Marquise Lightfoot got into a fight on the sideline. Because he watched a defense get their ass whooped and there was no changes. There was nothing being done. So how are these players being held accountable? And if they are being held accountable, then you need to do something more because this is getting out of hand with the penalties.
Yeah, hey, Coach, it seems the run blocking, the pass protection, again, looked damn good. I mean, you look back there, and Beck had a lot of time to throw the ball. Run blocking, what do you see mostly, especially in the middle, that's not working?
Well, I would say the pockets were clean. We actually ran the ball better against a team that was very good against the run, and we did it in a couple different ways. I thought the issues that we had, Joe, were short yardage.
Yes,
have been good. I thought that was the part that was negative. I thought in other parts of it, there were a lot of 2nd and 5, 2nd and 3s, 2nd and 6, 2nd and 4s, just very efficient, or I would say more efficient than we have been. The issues really came on short yardage where we did not, I think we were 3 of 5, if I'm not mistaken. Typically, we've been really good at that. So obviously not good enough, and that falls on all of us.
I agree with what Mario's saying here. See, when Miami lost to SMU, I was pissed off. I'm still a little bit mad. So you get into that anger and you start thinking about last year, you start thinking about years before, and you forget that Miami did do some good things in this game, right? It wasn't just, we were just straight up doo-doo from the start. No, there was some good things. And one of those things was when we ran the ball. There was a time where it felt like we were getting 4 or 5 yards every time we ran the ball. But Mario said it, in the short area, in the 4th and shorts, the 3rd and shorts, we couldn't make the plays. We couldn't get the yards. And again, Mario Cristobal, you are a former offensive lineman. You talk about our O-line play. We say Alex Mirabal is the best offensive line. So why aren't we getting enough push to get 1 yard? Well, then you may say, hey, they know what's coming. SMU, they're a good defense. Then I would say to you, why isn't your offensive coordinator scheming up plays to help us out on 4th and short? No matter what you say, these coaches, they need to be held accountable because it's getting ridiculous. This O-line is supposed to be Miami's pride and joy. And when we need 1 yard, we can't get it.
You have a couple costly drops. I know. So we start the show today, Coach. Not that you got other things on your mind, but I said I didn't think Carson Beck played that badly. And I know a lot of people, I know the last play was an interception, and that's what people are going to remember, and that's on him. But I thought he made some pretty good throws. And they got called back because of penalties, or he had some drops that could have been big plays.
Yeah, if not for the last play of the game. It's the one you'd like to have back. Aside from that, played a good game. We pushed the ball down the field better, which was a point of emphasis, one of those things we wanted to tweak and get better at after assessing it. And, yeah, we did. We had some drops. We had 5. So that coupled with the penalties certainly just not up to the standard, not good enough. No excuses. Everything is geared here towards making sure that we adjust, that we coach better, teach better, get better result, man. Because that's not it.
I don't feel like Carson Beck played a bad game. I know everybody sees that interception. They say, "See, Carson sucks." I don't think that. But what I will say is I do not rock with the body language that Carson Beck shows. And let me tell you why. Because I've always been the type of person that I feel like a leader to me isn't the guy who's just going to go out there and be like, yeah, 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 yeah. You know, Ray Lewis was a good leader. He was a rah-rah leader and a get it done on a field type person. I feel like a leader is when things are going wrong and they look at the leader is locked in, focused, and on to the next play. This man, Carson Beck, was out there, oh man, come on. Come on. And I understand there is frustration, but when you are the leader, you got to fake it. Even if you want to slap a receiver for dropping a pass that led to an interception, if you want to slap the crowd that's piping in music, even if you're pissed off that Mario calls a timeout when you could have got the ball off, you got to be the person that people look at and they like, okay, our leader is locked in, we're going to be locked in. If people look over and see the leader complaining, what are they going to do? Oh, God. It just, I understand these players aren't robots, but it was throughout the whole game. And if I'm an SMU defender, oh man, I can talk trash to the best of them. If I see my opponent frustrated, you best believe I'm in JoJo's Trader ear. Yeah, he mad at you for dropping that pass, ain't he? Yeah, he mad at you for dropping that pass. If I'm in front of Markel Bell, yeah, you see your leader Carson Beck throwing his hands in the air when you false start. Yeah, he making $4 million and he getting mad at you. Yeah, maybe you need to get some of his money or something. You know, I'm using that to my advantage.
Coach, they showed a shot of Shannon Dawson and you, and he's pretty animated, and he's showing like he wanted to run up some, we got to hit that thing or whatever he was saying. Can you share that with us? Everybody's reading into it 1,000 different ways.
Yeah, there's nothing to read into. There is no narrative. Coach Dawson was fired up and wanted us to hit that hole harder. And I was always telling him, man, keep calling your game, keep calling your game. And that's it. That's the entirety of it. There is no narrative. There is no BS there. And as you well know, I don't BS. And I thought he was fired up in a good way. He was trying to call the best game he could. And that's it as it relates to that.
Now, as I just said with Carson Beck, a leader has to, be good. They can't be going crazy. But Shannon Dawson is a coach who stays calm, cool, and collected. So sometimes it's good to see the fire. Now, you may say, Grant, you just got on to Carson Beck for being upset. Carson Beck was doing this throughout the whole game. Shannon Dawson, he was over there fired up one time. And I'm not going to lie, I was happy to see a coach be upset or be mad or whatever he was. Because I'm like, how can y'all just sit back and let this happen? Sometimes shit is going down and I'm like, are we going to coach the players? Are we going to, or do something? I'm not saying you got to yell and all that stuff every time. But the difference in Dawson yelling is Dawson throughout the game was cool, kind and collected, and he got fired up at one moment. Okay, that's cool. The Carson Beck body language was throughout the game, I thought, when things got bad, and it just wasn't good.
So Malachi makes one of those Malachi plays, that 47-yard punt return there before the half, sets you up on the 9-yard line in perfect situation. The frustration of having to kick a field goal before the half, knowing that this thing was probably going to be a tight ball game. Where does that rank for you as far as big missed opportunities?
Yeah, anytime you get the ball down there, right, short field, you have to find a way to get 7. And again, that was, before this game in the red zone, we had been really, really efficient. I think from a scoring standpoint, just overall scoring, a top 5 team in the country. And then from a touchdown standpoint, I think we were 1 of 3, 1 of 4 on Saturday. And that certainly is part of the difference in the game. So you always got to credit the opponent, but certainly we have to coach and execute at a higher level.
And when you lose a game like this, you go back and look at the little things. What if Malachi would have returned the punt return to the house? What if the blockers would have sprinted out and got that last block instead of letting the guy being able to push Malachi out? What if Elijah Lofton would have kept a hold to the pass, even though the guy smoked him and looked over him and was taunted for 10 seconds? If there was a Miami player, he would have been kicked out of the game. What if Carson would have threw the ball earlier so Elijah did have to take that hit, or he was able to catch it and then protect himself, and we score that touchdown? That was such a big moment. It just sucks that we didn't capitalize on it.
Coach, I think you call a timeout. Most of the people are going pretty hard. You have a young guy hits a quarterback. It was blown, the whistle blows, but like I said, some people had stopped, but a lot of people are going full speed on both sides, blocking and trying to get there. What did they tell you about that? Because, young guy, he's trying to get a sack and trying to get there. I don't know. What was your thoughts on that play?
Really frustrating because for us, obviously the opportunity to see what a team is trying to run on fourth down. They're going to run their A play, right? Game's on the line. You could use a timeout. You could see what personnel, what formation they're in to, try to run their best play to try to keep the game going, win the game, and give your guys a chance, especially your best pass rushers, an opportunity to catch their breath, to be able to let it rip on fourth down. And during the play, everybody's engaged, everybody's blocking. The guards and D tackles are totally going at it.
Yep.
I know there's a collision there, but there wasn't an attempt to knock somebody out or anything of that nature. So really disappointed that a game with things on the line like that was allowed to be officiated in that manner. But it is what it is. No excuses, and we move on.
Yeah.
I did not agree with Mario calling that damn timeout. It was a terrible call by the ref. To me, when I saw that flag, I was thinking about sports gambling. I'm like, damn, these boys, they really out here trying to get us. But as I said, let's control what we can control. I felt, and I live stream all my games, like I record them so I can get my reactions and I can post them other places. And I said, don't call a timeout. It's fourth down. They are in a hurry. Save our timeouts because, look, one, I'd rather our defense, y'all just communicate with the defense what to do. I mean, we got the mic for most of it until the 10 seconds. Communicate with the defense what to do and let them go. Do not call a timeout because Rhett Lashley gets time to think of a play. And then, our defense rests, but I would rather us just keep attacking. Secondly, you can save that timeout and use it if they do score. But what do? We call the timeout, Mark, and anything that can go wrong will go wrong. They call a hit on Marquise Lightfoot, which again was a horrible, terrible call. If Marquise Lightfoot wanted to knock out Kelly Jennings, he could have. He held up and even tried to hold him up. That to me shows me there was no malice intended. And as Mario Cristobal said, there was other players engaged. So that was a terrible call on fourth down. But I said it beforehand. This isn't me speaking on Monday. We should not have called a timeout. Let it ride. Let your defense make a stand like they've done the first three plays. You're overthinking things. We are the better team. And let's be honest here. If I have to pick Rhett Lashley to draw up a play, give him time versus our defense, I think Rhett Lashley could cook up a play. He already had the wheel route on the linebacker ready to go. So I say let them keep continuing having the call play. But no, we didn't want to do that. We wanted to call a timeout, regroup, let them regroup, and then the flag happened. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong.
Hey, Coach, getting back to penalties. I mean, so how do you go back and go about cleaning it up, especially with maybe the best group you have on the team or one of the best groups with with the offensive line and some of the other penalties, a left tackle caught down the field or a receiver blocking as a guy's getting ready to catch the ball down the field for an offensive pass interference. How do you clean all those things up? Is just coach them up? Is it take playing time away? How do you do it?
Yeah, well, Joe, we don't cut corners. We practice hard, man. Everything is regimented, structured, and I live a disciplined life, and we coach a disciplined team, and we did not get the outcome that we work for, strive for every single day. So when that happens, it's not just assessing, it's adjusting, it's tweaking, it's teaching it better, coaching it better, really dig deep into, hey, what are we thinking here, and what, made you want to do this that caused the penalty, so we could get it fixed and get better. I mean, it's that simple. And again, when I say it's simple in terms of trying to find out why, but then the hard part is getting it to happen on game day, which we didn't do. We regressed.
Yeah.
So, but we always were very honest and straightforward. And the bottom line is we have to get better at that. A downfield lineman, the guy's blocking his dude 15, let's say it's about 10 yards down the field. We teach go and block your guy to wherever he goes, chase him. He did not realize the quarterback was back there. That's hard.
Yeah.
Guy's trying to, it's kind of dicey, man. It's a sail route, and he's in the end zone. Corner's coming at him. He's coming at the corner. Ball's in the air. There's contact, and boom.
Yeah.
There's an offensive pass interference. That's a tough one. The ones that we can control mostly, Joe, are pre and post snap, right? Offside, legal procedure, and then of course the roughing the passer, which again I don't know what the parameters are to discuss things like that. Not really concerned about that. I just think that is a little bit dicey in a moment like that when no one's hearing the whistle because their tackle, their guards are blocking. So, but it is what it is.
Hey,
at the end of the day, this is not an opinion. This is a fact. Whatever the hell you're doing, it is not working, Mario. Whatever you've been doing the first part of this season, it hasn't been working. Whatever you did last year, it was not working. What about the year before? It was not working. So whatever, teach it better, discipline it better, record it better, do it better, be better, work hard, discipline, straight up, be honest with them, Joe. Whatever it is, it's not working. So we got to do something different. Because it's literally not working. Like we're seeing the penalties continue to happen, and sometimes it's the same players. That's what's bad about it.
Coach, real quickly too, 25 seconds and timeout in regulation. And you took the knee and said we're going to OT. Did you consider trying to throw it down the field and try to get an opportunity, a long field goal?
Two trains of thought, Joe. Number one, ice the kicker before he kicks it, or try to get a return, put yourself in position to try to score. So their kicker, we charted as 45% of his kickoffs were returnable. And we had a good scheme, and we have a good returner. We figured if we could pop a return and still have one timeout, we could do similar to what we did against Virginia Tech last year, right before the half, right? You pop a return, you get a couple plays in, move the ball close, a shot, a field goal. But we didn't pop a return. When you're at 25 or inside the 25 with under 30 seconds, statistically, the analytics-wise, the negatives are a lot larger than the positives, a lot more risk than reward. So we did the right thing and take it into overtime, and that's philosophically from here to every place I've ever coached at.
I hate the word analytics. I have grown to hate the word analytics. You're a coach. We're not paying ChatGPT to make decisions for us. We're not looking at, you're the coach. What is your philosophy, Mario Cristobal? What do you think? That's why you get paid the big bucks. So now these coaches, they have analytics. And hey, why'd you go analytics? Why'd you go analytics? I would rather a coach say, my philosophy is this, so I went with it, rather than analytics. Next thing is, look, if Mario's going to be conservative, I say be conservative. What I don't like is sometimes we're aggressive, sometimes we're conservative. Sometimes we're aggressive, sometimes we're conservative. Like, who are we? Like, you got a chance to add 3 points at the beginning of the game, and you go for it. Why not just add the 3 points? what, analytics? And then you got a chance at the end of the game to just throw the ball, try to get in the field goal range, and we don't do it. What is the Mario Cristobal philosophy? And let's stick to it. Stick to your guns. You're the big dog. You're making the money to make the decisions. So do it and stick by it. This whole analytics cop-out is not working for me.
Coach, how do you go from this real good team you have? It's been real good. 2 tough losses you could have won. How do you go to the next level?
Paid for client portrayal and endorsement. The choice of a lawyer is an important.
Hundreds.
Man, Andy has pro delivery right.
How do you get there?
Yeah, we got to do the things to go from good to great. And it starts with us. It's all us. Everything about this is about us. And there's plenty of fight in the team. You see that. There's an attitude of wanting to get better, wanting to win, wanting to do the right things. And you know what? We have a tremendous opportunity in these next 4 games, right? With the unpredictability of college football, you have an opportunity every single week to put yourself in position to accomplish your goals. And it starts with Syracuse on Saturday, okay? I think our guys are locked in. I think they're ready to get to work. The best you could always do is be honest, provide the right kind of feedback, be constructive and technical and fundamental work, and provide your guys with the best solutions to get better. And do it together as a staff, as a team, as a program. So that's our course of action. No excuses, no pull punches, but certainly knowing that this is our family, this is our team, these are our people, and we are the biggest supporters of our players and each other. So back to work.
I don't know if this team can bounce back. I really wouldn't be surprised if we dropped 1 or 2 more games. I don't think we're going to win a bowl game. I don't think we're going to go to the playoffs. And I don't think we're going to go to the ACC championship game. And here's why I say this, because I kind of look at where we are now kind of like our games. Like if you think about our games, the Notre Dame game, the Florida State games, when we're doing good, boy, we look good. Right? And when we're doing good, I'm seeing Mario do this. I'm seeing Carson Beck do this. It's a different team. But when we're faced with adversity, the booty hole get tight. I don't want to make a mistake. I don't want to drop the eggs. Everybody, the body language is different. So this season, everything's gone well. Then we dropped the game to Louisville. Got punched in the mouth. Saw our blood. Okay. We played a Stanford team that hung with us the first half. Shouldn't have. We ended up beating them. And then SMU hit us with the whop, whop, whop. And now we on life support. We on life support now. What's going to happen? I want you to know. I want you to answer the question. What is your prediction to this team? Do you think this team at this point in the season can bounce back and finish strong? Because I'm just giving a prediction. I could be wrong. They could run the table. But from what I've seen, I don't think it's in them. But I'd love to know what you think.
Coach, how do you keep all the noise out now with we're in a different world, man. Different world than when I played and you played, social media and everything else that, especially for guys that live around here in this area and you got a bunch of really good players. How do you block it all out and keep all the guys focused and not getting down?
Well, with honesty and reality, Joe. I mean, that's what football has become in a sense in terms of outside noise. But I think guys that are attracted or distracted by outside noise, they probably belong with the outside noise and not inside the building, if that makes sense. There's people, the best people in your corner are the people that are inside the building. The same ones that were with you when you were beating Notre Dame in Florida and Florida State are the same ones hanging with you when you stub your toe, all right, and you hit some road bumps, okay? And I think that's a very clear statement and understanding in the building. And you always have to make decisions going forward on people and schemes, adjustments, and all that kind of stuff. But that's the way we roll, man. You know, if the outside noise is ever a factor in anything, you've got the wrong people. The outside noise has always been and will always be irrelevant.
Coach, thank you. I appreciate you coming on today. I know it's not easy after a game like that, so I appreciate it. Thank you.
Always going to be real. I appreciate you having me after a tough loss like that. Go Canes.
All right.
Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I think I've spoken enough. I've said enough. Now, I guess we can move on to Syracuse. And, you know, I just want to say, man, I really want this team to finish strong. I mean, I do stand by what I said. I think all our goals that we wanted is kind of out of the loop, like the ACC and making the playoffs. It's like a 10%, something like that. So maybe we can finish the season strong, you know, get a double-digit win season and win a bowl game. And then that'll help us get some momentum into the offseason. But it starts with us beating Syracuse. I'll be back Saturday. I'll be rooting on the Canes. I love this team. I'm rooting for this team. I'm excited to see how they respond. And we'll see how they respond. You guys let me know what you think in the comments. I'm out. Peace. I love y'all, man. Have a good Monday.